there, Robyn and Danna with Ageless Women Living, and we want to talk a little bit about some tips that are going to help make your intermittent fasting the most effective that it can be.
So you've gotten some of the basics, maybe gotten started. Here's some things to keep in mind. One, be flexible. Be flexible with yourself, with your schedule. This is not cut in stone. It's your design. So do what you need to do most days. You make it an intention to do a 16-hour fast, and let's just say on one end, you're feeling great at 16 hours. Why break it? If you're doing great that day, push it another hour. Push it 2 hours to that magic 18-hour number where the benefits even maximize more. Or the converse is true as well. You've intended to do a 16-hour fast, and you're maybe at 13, 14 hours, and you're struggling. Now, I'm not saying don't push through on occasion, but within reason. Maybe you have a really important presentation with your job, or you have some extra stress in your life that day. That might be the day that you just say, okay, I'm going to break it now a little bit earlier than I had planned.
The other thing is rewire your thought process around fasting. A lot of times people will think of fasting as deprivation and all of that. But you know what? One of the things that I really enjoy about the fasting is I only typically eat 2 main meals that day. And so I don't have to think about a third meal. I might have a few snacks, but it takes the pressure off, I get all that extra time. And even the time that it takes to eat, sit down, have a meal. I'm skipping one of those meals typically. I can do something else. I can have more prayer time. I can spend time doing more exercise, whatever it may be.
Well, speaking of time, a lot of you are really busy, and you might be thinking, well, it's going to be a really busy week, so I'm not going to intermittent fast very much this week. Actually, that's a great time, because just like what Robyn said, less time eating, less time prepping. And sometimes the busyness is a great distraction because we're not often as hungry as we think. It's the habit of eating more hours of the day that takes some time to change. And so when you're busy, you're not thinking about it so much.
Right. And let me tell you what I think one of my little habits that I want to make sure that I do when I'm fasting is actually exercise for a couple reasons. One, it takes up time. When I'm not eating, I could be exercising. The other thing is when I exercise, my hunger diminishes during the time that I'm exercising, and at least an hour or two after my exercise, my hunger is really diminished. Now, when we say exercise, it doesn't have to be anything hardcore. It can be go for a half hour, a 45-minute, or an hour walk. It can be doing some circuit training with some weights. It's very, very doable. Most people are worried, oh, I'm not going to have enough energy when I'm fasting. That is not the case. I exercise all the time on an empty stomach, on a fasted state, and I actually have quite a bit of energy and endurance during that time.
Get some increased results. Exercise will increase your results. And as Robyn said, listen to your body. It's not necessarily the day for your highest intense exercise. Sometimes it might be. As you get better and better at intermittent fasting, it actually might enhance your higher intensity workouts. Well, let's talk about the converse of exercise, rest and sleep. Mm-hmm. Studies show that people that get good rest and consistent 7 to 8 hours sleep a night do have a better time losing weight and keeping it off. And fasting as well, you're going to do a better job on your fast if you're well rested. One of the things that happens is when we're really tired and low on sleep hours, our body's constantly saying, I need energy, I need energy. And sometimes it falsely converts that to, I need food, I need food. So getting into good sleep habits is important anyway, but especially important during fasting. So practice some good, healthy sleep habits. And that's a subject for another day.
Well, and no, if you didn't get good sleep the night before and your intention is to do an 18-hour fast, you may just say to yourself, you know what, I think I'm just going to go for 14 hours today and I'm going to eat a late breakfast and go with that.
Yeah. So our encouragement is take some time to figure out what works for you. This is a journey of discovery. It's a journey to determine how your body responds to certain times of the day, certain foods that you break your fast with, and it will take a while.
Let's talk about that. The types of foods that you want to be eating when you break your fast. What most people tend to do, or I shouldn't say most, but some people tend to do, is they tend to eat very high concentrated density type food, heavy proteins, a lot of fat, maybe more a higher carbohydrate, and they forget those fresh fruits and abundance of vegetables. And remember, your body's been doing what's called autophagy. It's getting rid of that waste material, recycling those old ugly cells that the body doesn't need anymore. Fruits and vegetables will help cleanse that out of your system. So make sure you're getting a lot of that, especially in that break fast meal.
Yeah, don't be the overcompensator that when I've been starving myself for 16 hours, no permission to eat anything. It's not like when we hold our breath and we haven't been breathing for a minute and then all of a sudden we take another breath and what do? We binge on air. Well, we don't need to binge after a fast. In fact, that is one we want to work against binging on, especially unhealthy foods, and as Robyn said, bringing in some healthy foods.
So what you eat is important when you break your fast. And even though there are people out there that will intermittent fast and then they'll just eat whatever they want, they're not going to get as good of results as if they're following a really good healthy diet plan. And that's what some of our clients have done. They've incorporated the intermittent fasting with our Ageless Woman diet and are having phenomenal results, feeling energized, feeling younger, losing weight, losing fat, getting relief of joint aches and pains, and all sorts of different health benefits.
Well, if you think about it, you're giving your body a break from digestion, getting all those positive benefits of ketones and cleansing. Now you've got to nourish your body and give it the building blocks it needs to build new healthy cells. And those cells are only going to be as healthy as what the building blocks you're giving it are called food, real food. So here's what a couple of our clients have said. Debbie says, I've noticed since I have been practicing intermittent fasting that food is losing its power over me.
That's awesome.
Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy says, I've been doing intermittent fasting for quite some time and started doing it especially to get rid of the stubborn pounds when I was really close to my goal weight. More than weight loss, I notice more mental clarity and a lot of energy before I start eating for the day. That's just one of many women who are telling us this is working for them. It's really easier. If you haven't started, it's easier than you think.
I just want to mention one other tip that can help you with your intermittent fasting, and I think we mentioned it in one other video, but it's this hunger control supplement. It's a new supplement on the market called Lividia. There's no stimulants to it. Basically what it does is it tells your gut to send a message to the brain, I'm satisfied, I'm not hungry. And Danna, I just think that I love it when I'm not fasting, but gosh, when I'm fasting, it just really helps me get over any hunger.
It has taken me from being able to easily fast maybe 12 or 13 hours to now being able to fast 16, 17, 18 hours with essentially no hunger, which it just makes it so much easier to stay on the path and get the maximum benefits from fasting. So we'll provide a link in our notes so that you can learn a little bit about Lividia if you're interested, and just to encourage you, take the time to figure out what's going to work for you, because intermittent fasting can be a continual part of your everyday life and not only get you lean, but keep you lean.